Welcome to Vintage Radio Cafe, your #1 channel for relaxing vintage audio restoration. If you like watching an idiot wielding a soldering iron, you've come to the right place. Watch Ray's attempts to fix wonderful forgotten radios from another era, way before transistors. Sometimes he even gets them working again. What could go wrong, right?
So welcome back. It's the next day. So today is the 4th day I've been working on the radio. Last thing I showed you was the replacement, well, not the replacement, the restuffing of the electrolytic can. So it's back in place. I reconnected it exactly how it was before. And I started recapping the whole chassis. See all those yellow ones. And I also did electrolytics. So I'm about halfway done. Some are really hard to access. Let me try to show you one. One that's going to be hard. Yeah, this guy here. Underneath all those guys. So I'm going to cut the leads and reconnect the new cap using those leads. What I want to show you, for those of you who think it's crazy to do a full recap, well, I measure everything I replace, and just to give you an idea, this guy should have been 4700 picofarad. It's at over 85. This one, 0.1, 0.01, 0.017, 0.22, 0.35. You know, it's almost either 50% or close to double the value. Yeah, 0.1, 0.01, 0.019. So it's almost double. Same here. That 0.047 is at 0.08. That's close to double the value. Same here. 0.022, I get 0.04. So you get my point. I, like any serious restorer, I will not recommend to do a shotgun. Shotgunning the radio, which means replacing everything before doing a first test. At the same time, since I've been working on those for, it's my 3rd Grundig, I have a pretty good idea how they work. And it's super important for me not to do a first start, even a restricted slow start on the dim bulb, if I know 99% of the caps are bad, especially the electrolytics. And unless I'm really not sure of what I'm doing, the value of a cap or how it goes in, and I won't replace, I'll wait. But anything straightforward, like replacing a cap, 1 for 1, same position, I do it. I do it before I do the first slow start. Also, before I do anything, I use the Manuel Caldera's method, and I test the circuit as much as I can. So already I've established that the 6.3 filament is okay, as the main coming in is okay. And I replaced the 2 electrolytics. I kept the rectifier in yellow because I'm going to be doing this at the end. I'm going to be replacing it. And I started, following the B plus on the EL84 outputs. And I can see to the grid from the top of this cap, which this side is going to be B2 plus. I already know this is okay. The B plus side that goes directly to the output transformer, well, my speakers are not connected. They're still in the cabinet, and the cabinet is separated from the chassis. So I'll do that later when I get to that part. I just want to conclude with something that was super important for me, since I had problems with the other Grundig, is this resistor. Okay, between the two. This is a 100 ohms, 1 watt, and it's specified both on the part and the schematic that it has to be 2%. It's R68 here, but it was R37 on the Grundig, and on the Grundig it was in 1965, so it's 10 years after this guy. And they had changed, obviously they had changed the furniture, the company, or they changed their recipe, because they all went bad and they all became corroded and broke off under heat. And this one, just let me show you, it tests perfect. And yeah, look how good it looks. It's absolutely perfect. It tests at 100 ohms exactly. Most of the resistors are not, they don't fail. They usually don't fail in the Grundig's chassis. So the plan for today is finish the recapping. I think I might need to order another cap. I still got parts I have to order. This guy here, I have a 0.15, that's a 0.1 at 250 volts. And I want to make sure I put the exact same thing in. You know, what's the point? If I'm going to change it, I'm going to put one that's 50% higher. So, yeah, I'll be back when it's done. And hopefully we'll be able to start doing preliminary tests. Restricted on the dim bulb. Be right back. Okay, folks, so welcome back. It's day 5, 5th day working on the radio. I hope you'll pardon the wide shot. I just want you to see the whole setup that I have to do the first power up test on the dim bulb. Yesterday I finished recapping the whole radio. I replaced all the capacitors but 2. One I didn't have the right value, and the other one is quite hard to access, so I'm still on the fence here if I'm going to try to remove it. I might have to cut the said capacitor in 2 just to be able to remove it. But you know, with 7 new old stock tubes in, and most, like 99% of the capacitors change, I'm confident enough to do a slow start. I won't lie, I already did a test, and I've already identified one issue, and it's not surprising. So without further ado, just let me we're on dim bulb with 2 bulbs, okay? I'm at 119, I should put it at 120 volts. I usually typically get 121 here. I've set up the multimeter directly on the rectifier to see what kind of voltage we have. So we're going to start on AM, and just look at the bulbs. If I connected everything correctly, both bulbs should go bright for a second and then dim down. The voltage should be higher at first and also go down as the capacitor charge and the filaments warm up the tubes. Let's try this. Put some power on, it will help. So the lights are reacting normally. We are going down on the DC voltage. The target DC voltage should be 280. So they're warming up, stabilizing. It's drawing a little more, so let's raise this to 120. Already I'm hearing the radio playing, which is surprising. The rectifier is only giving 147 volts restricted. Let's listen to it.
Hit yourself with the grill hot dog. See you later. Huh? What? Hot dog. Grillé.
As an appetizer?
As a starter.
You're having a hot dog?
As a starter.
As a warm-up.
As a warm-up. And stretch.
With a burger?
Très lourd, là, depuis...
They were rejoicing.
We'll tell you more in about...
What are they going to do with the donuts? Eh? I don't know. Max brought donuts this morning.
He did,
Did you?
nice
Yeah,
one,
Max
yeah.
and Cut producer of the Underground
Okay,
Morning
so
Show.
far so good.
What's he up to? He must be up to something. Don't trust people.
I trust you can hear
CJD 800 thrilled to host an evening. So we're hosting
radio?
an evening with Chef Chuck Hughes, the celebrity chef. So that means that we're going to do it downstairs. We have this big
There's
auditorium.
quite a
Not
bit
that
of
big,
hum.
but it's an auditorium with a stage, and I'm going to interview him. I guess we're going to have an event.
the ferrite
And,
antenna
it'll be your
indicator
chance
is
to win a
working.
4-pack of tickets. That's Thursday, November 14th.
See how the reception gets better with the antenna?
We're going to be chatting about his new book, Chuck's
At least
Home
I
Cooking,
can hear it.
restaurant scene in Montreal, and all that stuff.
The,
So much more. It's going to be a fun night.
Tone
so
control.
We have a 4-pack of tickets. If you're the 8th caller through, when you
The
hear
bass is working
the
nicely.
Swedish chef, we're doing celebrity chefs this week.
Wow.
Coming up next. What do
And
why
the,
are, flies
the treble
like a
too.
group of grumpy teenagers?
So that's
The Andrew
really
Carter
nice.
Morning Show, brought to you by
The ferrite
Max
antenna
Banana, your
is
trusted
reacting.
source for comfort. A better night's sleep is only a click away at
see it turning.
matlabanana.ca. It's the pre-winter blitz. Have your vehicle protected from rust and book an appointment
As expected, the
Metropolitan Rust Proofing, a smart
Magic Eye is now
investment
working.
that pays. Waiting for surgery? Skip the waiting with La Croix Private Surgery in
I've got one on order. I can't get the EM34s anymore, so I'll try to adapt a Russian tube. So, okay, so far so good. Let's put it on full power and see how much power it's going to draw. It's supposed to draw 80 watts.
And things you can trust, like Toyota.
We're
Go check on the neighbor.
barely drawing 55, 56 watts, which is not surprising because if you look at the rectifier voltage, it's only at 209. It should be at 280. So that's the first problem. And you know, like I said before, I never recommend to do a shotgun recapping like I did. But then again, I hope you'll agree with me. It's pretty straightforward to change caps most times. Sometimes it's more difficult, like the two ones I didn't do yet. But it's straightforward enough for me at this point after 3 years of doing this, and you know, to be comfortable to recap it before putting power on. This being said, the only thing that this is where I hope you'll agree with me. The only thing I didn't change yet is the rectifier, and the only thing that's not working is the rectifier. Okay, so I already tested this, and what I'm showing you now I already know. But half an hour ago, when I started testing, the rectifier was putting out 217 volts. So it's already starting to get lower. Okay, and the FM was working on both bands. Now if I try it at 208 and it went down to 199 because the rectifier is failing. I'm sure if I keep it running for a week, it'll go below 100 and it won't work anymore at all. But let's try the FM just to prove my point. And it was working. Okay, so see, now it works at 205, 205 volts. But if I leave it running, it'll go lower and lower and it'll stop. Let's try the second FM, FM1. See, I'm not getting anything. And they were both working. See, I'm going down 204. So as it stands now, we're like almost 80 volts lower. So the rectifier is not outputting what it should. It's like not even 70% of its output potential. So there's no surprise the FM, which draws more, is not working. No surprise there. But not only is the voltage lower, it's probably not rectifying properly, which would explain the hum. But once I change the rectifier, and that's going to be the plan for today, it should work. Let's go back on the other FM. See, it was working a second ago. Well, it's not surprising. And actually, what is surprising is on dim bulb at 100 and something watts on AM, I was already getting sound, which wasn't the case with the blow punk. Like I said, it's not surprising. I mean, I have to change the rectifier. Once the rectifier is changed, and I'm going to try to insert one of those boards, Manuel's boards. Let me move in closer and try to insert one of those boards inside the rectifier can, because it's a can just like the big filter caps. One other thing, I did try the remote, and it was partially working. There is light. There's supposed to be a light behind there, and there was only 2 of the lights working. The volume control was working, but it was really shoddy. It was going up and down, and it was drawing power. My point is this: I'm not going to plug it in again. I can just go back to AM though. See AM, it draws less. I'm going back up to 210, and I'm getting reception and output. Okay. My point is this: when I recap the blow punk, which is a similar radio, same number of speakers, these are all the caps that I changed. Okay, when I did the this one, the Grundig, on the chassis, there's only this many. Well, it's not surprising. All the tone shaping caps that were on the blow punk, okay, all those caps I'm not having here. Well, they're inside here. So this needs a recap, and I'm guessing there are some electrolytics in there, for at least for the volume control. I'm thinking. So I have to look at this after, but I'll start with the rectifier. And as I always say, when I get sound after a recap, when nothing explodes, it's encouraging. I know I did a good job, good enough job for the radio to work, but I still got work to do. And I told you from the get-go, I knew what I was getting into, and I told you it was going to be a long series. So I have to do the rectifier, then I have to work on the remote, and from that point on, we'll see what's going on with the sound, if I have to fix anything, adjust anything. But I think the speakers are going to be okay. The big speaker with such a low voltage, the bigger speaker doesn't output much. I have to really crank it up. The big main 12-inch speaker works, but it's weak. And again, not surprising. I'm not getting the voltages I should be getting. So it's I still think it's a good start. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I'll work on this today. With any luck, these guys will fit. This guy will fit inside. I don't know. I'll just take the old Grundig can, because it's a similar size. See, might not fit. I don't think the rectifier is bigger. If I can't put it in the can, either I'll have to come up with another solution. I would really like to keep the original rectifier can, but if I can't, I'll just make a new case and I'll fit it inside. Nobody will see it. I would rather not do that, but if I have no choice, what I want is a working radio, a safe radio and a working radio. The aesthetics are really more important for me outside than inside to an extent. So that's the plan for today. Okay, I'm just about to start working on the rectifier, this can. And what I want to show you is this. So you see the board, and if I put it against it, I'm not sure it's going to fit. You know what? I might be missing a millimeter total. So I don't know. Maybe I can just grind off some material on each side, on the long sides. Maybe. And to remove it, well, it's just like a filter can. See, it has the same tabs there. So there's two yellow wires going to this terminal strip for the AC. The red one and the blue one are the positive and negative going to the ground of the chassis. So let me unsolder this, try to remove the can. If I'm able to untwist those tabs without breaking them. Well, at least that's the plan. So okay, I just unsoldered all the wires and untwisted the tabs successfully, I hope. And the rectifier is just about ready to come out. Let me pull on it. Wow, thing of beauty. There you have it. Time to get up close and personal with this rectifier. Putting my magnifying glasses on. So this is the, not the problem, but where we're at the moment. I got to save this ring, you know, so I can use the one of the tabs for the ground, and I have to remove it, and there seems to be a little bit of metal, like 1/16 of an inch, less than 1/8, folded back on this ring, and I don't want to grind it if I can avoid it at all. There's a spot where you can start on each side. You need a very small screwdriver. Then again, when it's too small, you don't get enough torque to start bending the metal. So although I don't have oily skin, still, if I want to keep the lettering intact, I'm going to put gloves and keep working on this. Yeah, it's moving a little bit. Whoop. I'm off. Yeah, you can see here starting to unfold just a little bit. So I'll get back to you. So, okay, after about 14-15 minutes working on this, this is what you get. The ring becomes loose and you can remove it. Then the phenolic plate is also loose, I believe, yeah. Then we try to remove plate only. We're going to discover together how it's made inside. I never undid one of those. Okay. Okay, now let's count the squares. We're starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 plates. So I've seen on the AEG, this is the inside. On the AEG, I calculated that each plate was dropping 1 volt. I don't know if it's the case here. Once I do the new rectifier, I'll have an idea what's the pure voltage rectified without any resistors. Oh my God. We're lucky, guys. It fits inside. Can't believe this. So there's hope. There's hope we can save this can and use it. I'll have to be creative, but all is not lost. I'll be right back. Let me try to rebuild the rectifier. Isn't this beautiful? Tell your friend, all your friends, there's a crazy Canadian dismantling rectifiers and counting all the plates and making floral arrangements. Yeah. This will make a great picture, right? Okay, so I'm done testing the new rectifier, which is right here. The voltage I get now is like I hover between 272 and 274. Remember this morning I was around 200. I even went under 200 at 199. The target is 280, but this is really, really close enough. It's probably the most the transformer can give me after 70 years of service. It's and also remember they didn't measure the voltage with the same equipment we have today. They didn't have modern multimeter running on 9-volt batteries. They had the analog stuff. So also the wattage has improved. Let me show you closer. I was at 56. Now I go up as high as 67 watts, and it's rated for 80. And again, I think it's fine. I had so many radios in the past that would run at full wattage just sitting at idle. And I haven't been losing FM since the voltage has stabilized. But I still have to change 2 tubes. I know that. The EB41, that, and the EF80. The 41 I couldn't test, and the EF80 is really low. So I'm surprised it's working so well. Also have to change 2 more caps.
Sur le plateau en général, tout le monde se sent concerné par le plateau Montréal, même si personne n'y va ou presque, et que la plupart des gens n'y habitent pas. Donc moi, je le verrais peut-être se porter en candidature à la mairie de Montréal.
Moi, j'y habite.
Ah bon. Et qui tu vois, toi, Michel?
Sincèrement, j'ai pas
I just want to see, I want to check if the electrostatic tweeters are working. I'm going to move the
déjà parlé, moi j'ai été partie 5 ans, je suis revenue, je trouvais que Montréal était triste.
microphone, if I can get it out.
J'ai besoin, je me sens qu'on aurait besoin de quelqu'un qui arrive avec des projets pour Montréal, qui stimule Montréal, qui nous donne envie.
I can tell you the bass speaker is working now perfectly.
Extraordinaire. Ça, moi, je sais pas.
Et t'as pas cette impression-là à l'heure actuelle?
Non, en ce moment, je trouve que c'est un peu triste.
Mais il y avait pas, il y avait Michel Leblanc au début.
Michel Leblanc a annoncé qu'il n'était pas intéressé.
Sauf que...
Oui, je te vois venir. La donne a changé.
Oui, exactement. Moi, je pense que personne ne voulait aller contre Valérie Plante parce que Valérie Plante était clairement meneuse. Elle aurait pu facilement aller chercher un 3e mandat. Là, Valérie Plante n'est plus là. Fait que moi, je pense qu'il y a des gens qui vont peut-être reconsidérer leur façon de penser.
So I'll only find out if the electrostatic speakers are working when I listen to this recording, because the overall mix doesn't tell me if they're working or not. If they're not working, I'm not going to lose time on those again. I know them. I'm going to put speakers, proper speakers in it. But, you know, for the moment, it's very encouraging. Let's listen to the other FM band.
Daylight saving time? No, we are not, unfortunately. Yes. But you know, we have to talk about the anxiety that rolls in, because it's right before that we start getting so anxious.
Great. I also checked if I could tune the station. I was hoping that I would be able to get 100.7, but it doesn't go there. It stops just shy of 100. So it's too bad, but there's still a lot of stations, many stations I can listen to. Not my favorite one, but you know, it's a good radio. And besides, with all the connections in the back, I can listen to phono, record player, and if I want, I can hook whatever external device, an iPhone, an iPod, or whatever. So I'm happy. What's left for me to do today is to put the rectifier back in the can, or put it for the first time, this one in the old can. Hopefully it'll work. And after all that, I'll start working on the remote, because that's really what gives you all the presets: speech, orchestra, solo, and jazz. And you can also turn it on and off, not just off, but on and off. And there's a volume control. When the lights will be all lit up, it's going to be really nice. For the moment, I don't want to plug it in anymore. The sound was too scratchy. So I don't know what's inside that can, but that box. For sure, resistors and capacitors, but maybe even electrolytic capacitors, most probably. So what I don't have here on the front for sound shaping, well, it's all in this box. So I'll keep working on the rectifier, and it's around supper time now. I'll start working on the remote probably tomorrow morning. So stay tuned. Promises to be good.